done a lot of good for a lot of veterans, and his music is good besides.
We're on our way to Florida! Welcome to Orlando! It just felt really magical. That's a good way to say it.
We've got a group of veterans here from Orlando. We want to make them feel loved. They deserve it. I am indeed a grateful American to be here with you on this Soaring Valor trip.
America doesn't have to support and do the things that they have done for us, but they've shown up, and that means a lot to us.
Members of the Gary Sinise Foundation delivered free meals for healthcare workers at 2 Advent Health Hospital campuses.
The challenges facing our public health workers are very, very demanding.
We're exceptionally proud of the impact we make on the lives of these heroes and their loved ones.
Thank you. I'm a grateful American for all you're doing for the Gary Sinise Foundation. Hello everyone, Gary Sinise here. Sorry I can't be with you for this wonderful launch of our Orlando chapter. After the tragic and devastating attacks on September 11, 2001, I began devoting much of my time to supporting the men and women who were answering the call to duty and in response to those terrorist attacks. I personally felt called to service in some way, and wanting to do more, I just volunteered my time to many other nonprofits supporting our nation's heroes, Gold and Blue Star families, firefighters, police officers, wounded veterans. It became clear to me that my journey was now a lifelong mission, and all these various efforts came together in June of 2011 with the launch of the Gary Sinise Foundation, keeping all of our defenders, first responders, and their families strong in difficult times by serving and honoring their needs. That's my personal passion. That's why I created the Gary Sinise Foundation, and that's why I feel so blessed to have so many supporters around the country that are helping us in our mission. Today, with the launch of our first chapter in the U.S., the foundation is a rallying point for folks like you who want to serve, support, and honor our troops, veterans, first responders, and frontline medical workers. I'm humbled and excited for this new opportunity to see our outreach spread further through the help of communities like Central Florida who embody our core values of service, integrity, and commitment. Ray was brought on as our director of chapters. We started talking about the idea of chapters with Jim Ravella, our vice president of outreach, who had a lot of experience with chapters. This expansion to Central Florida for our first chapter launch is part of that. Building communities of support, engaging communities, and trying to inspire through action to step up and serve and honor the needs of our defender community. And that's what we're doing here with our launch in Central Florida of our very first chapter.
As an Air Force veteran and a Central Florida resident who actively serves my community, I am so honored to help drive the launch of the Foundation's very first regional chapter. These chapters will expand our awareness and increase the impact of the Gary Sinise Foundation at a local level. You know, Orlando is called the City Beautiful for a reason. It truly is a dream to live here, and that's why so many people have chosen it as their home, including over 1 million veterans. But many of these heroes come home from service and face issues like PTSD and traumatic brain injury. That's why the Central Florida chapter is providing resources to enable struggling veterans to live, work, and continue to be productive citizens. All thanks to the Gary Sinise Foundation and Gary's vision of serving those who have served. We also help give a voice to Gold Star families and help them navigate one of the greatest challenges any family could face. Lieutenant Colonel Giovanna Nelson is one of our own hometown heroes right here in Central Florida, whose son Brendan made the ultimate military sacrifice when he was killed in action in Afghanistan in 2012. Not only has Giovanna honorably served as a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter pilot, but also as a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves. She's a Gold Star mother who currently serves on the advisory council of our own Central Florida chapter. She brings so much wisdom and authentic experience to our organization, but most importantly, she's one of the people who bring heart to the Gary Sinise Foundation.
Every time I see American flag, I get tears, no matter where it is. I see it waving. It's just something that just kind of is a pride that I have in the United States and what my father did. And I started at the University of Central Florida ROTC program, and I got commissioned, and then I was able to start in aviation as a Black Hawk pilot. I was able to do that for a long time, and met my husband through there, had 2 children, and retired last year with 22 years of service. So not only was I a soldier, I was a daughter of a soldier, a wife of a soldier, and a mother of a soldier. So my continued service is till the day I die. So Brendan was not a big guy. He was 5'7". He would say he's 5'9", but he's 5'7". He got stationed in Vicenza, Italy with the 173rd. And a year after he got there, he was deployed with NATO for 6 months into Afghanistan. And a month in, he lost his life. He was killed in action. Our son's angel date was yesterday. So a lot of people think that it's hard on me on the day that he died. It's every day. As Gold Star families, we suffer in silence a whole hell of a lot. But I also want people to realize that we want to talk about our fallen soldiers. We want to tell their story. There's a name and a picture, but there's a whole story behind all of that. And for people to understand who they are and connect to them as people is what I want to bring to the table, and I hope I can bring to the table. And I feel that being part of the Gary Sinise Foundation, I have that choice this time. And I feel this way, my voice will be heard, and it's on my terms. And I'm being given that platform, which I'm honored to have.
So the GSF team has a unique mission. All who work at Gary Sinise Foundation are helping me to carry this mission forward, helping to fulfill a dream of building an organization that will be here for the long haul, serving and honoring the needs of the men and women who defend our country and who protect and serve our cities and our fellow citizens and the families who sacrifice alongside them. This team has come together beautifully, and Karen, as our president, we're very excited to have her lead this first chapter. Karen, thank you for coming aboard as our first president there in Orlando.
As a military brat, wife, and mother, I've always worked to advocate for veterans, so I'm truly honored to lead the Foundation's very first chapter. I've been an active part of the Central Florida community for some time, serving on many boards like the Orlando and Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Councils. And it's because I'm so passionate about giving back to the community and seeing its residents thrive. But when we talk about the community thriving, we're not just referring to veterans. First responders and frontline medical workers are a critical part of our community too. They work tirelessly to protect those of us who live in Central Florida, and now, more than ever, we need to show our appreciation for their sacrifice. Through the Central Florida chapter of the Gary Sinise Foundation, we will empower and honor these brave men and women who keep us safe and healthy here at home, regardless of the threat. One of these people is Hezedean Smith. He has served almost 25 years at the Orlando Fire Department and is one of many that devotes his time to this cause. He's a true leader. His faith and commitment are inspirational. We are lucky to have him on our Central Florida Board of Directors.
I serve currently as the intelligence officer for this pandemic situation for the Orlando Fire Department. So I think this COVID thing really, it's also we are focused on protecting our responders as they continue to do their normal work.
He's doing all these kind, wonderful things for all these people who need it, and the fact that his name is there and he's there helping all those people. It's just great. It's amazing.
I think the Central Florida community, in essence, have really been one that can be counted upon for support. Having an idea where they can fit in is certainly one of those things that we, with the local chapter, would have to be committed to engage in the local community. And the reality is the Central Florida community is such a diverse community in terms of technology, innovation, mental health, research, simulation. Those elements of our community can certainly be engaged to be in alignment with the initiatives with the Gary Sinise Foundation.
As I'm sure you'll agree, Hezadine's contribution to our first responder community is invaluable. Likewise, community leader Daryl Toll, CEO of Advent Health, has been an incredible advocate and partner in responding to the needs of our frontline workers. As the CEO of the Central Florida Division, he is a critical player in helping us empower our medical community. In case you didn't know, one of the programs of the Gary Sinise Foundation is called Serving Heroes. Through this initiative, we've been bringing meals to our doctors and nurses on the front lines of the COVID-19 battle.
We've had such an outpouring of support from the Gary Sinise Foundation, bringing and serving our heroes with delicious food and recognizing the efforts that they've made. Those kinds of moments, it's amazing how much they actually do help, even when people like us who aren't clinical, aren't on the very front lines interacting with consumers. Those expressions of love and support and just embracing the work makes all the difference in the world.
I've said it was always my goal to provide a reliable and trusted means for the American people to come together to show their support and appreciation for our defenders and their families. With the help and dedication of many great people who came aboard early on and over the years, we've succeeded in doing just that. So I'm grateful for their support, and now for those who have stepped up in Central Florida to help carry that torch.
And even if it's one, keeping one veteran from taking his life, that's what at least one veteran saved. And to me, that's the success of the Gary Sinise Foundation.
I think these communities like Gary Sinise Foundation are trying to show the positives, trying to show like, hey, these people they're going through something bad, but look at them go. They're doing it, they're getting through it, they're together, and they do need support, and that's something I appreciate.
The opportunity to give back and make their life a little bit more normal, a little bit more comfortable, that's a huge undertaking that we all should be part of.
As time goes on, the Gary Sinise Foundation will continue to evolve and adapt to the changing needs of the communities we serve. The team at GSF Central Florida, staff and volunteers, all are helping me to fulfill a life's mission, a calling. So thank you once again to everyone who's volunteering their time in Central Florida to help the Gary Sinise Foundation expand our outreach to get more done.
Why not be a part of an organization that is the truth, that is out there wanting to take care of our first responders, our military, and other, individuals in the community who need help.
Now more than ever, being that we have a Gary Sinise Foundation chapter here in Central Florida, it makes complete sense to get involved in bigger ways. And I'm ecstatic. I'm incredibly excited to see what comes out of this chapter, to see the greater impact that we'll have in the community, a home base here in Florida.
I think this is going to be an awesome benefit for Orlando to have Gary Sinise Foundation here and to give back.
You know what? There's an opportunity for me, and there's an opportunity for everybody in this community, regardless of where you work, your affiliation.
Gary Sinise Foundation coming to Central Florida is going to open up the doors for the community, period.
Gary and Foundation, welcome to Central Florida.